What's up, everybody? Well, motivational recap. You know, it's been a struggle coming back to Decatur, Illinois. Well, actually Dalton City, but pretty much Decatur. Dalton, Mountain, Zion, and Decatur, right? So, yeah. So Decatur, get on the mountain, and then Dalton. So, jobs have been it's been kind of stressful, but I haven't really lost hope. I just kept applying. The things that really will frustrate you is negativity, right? So like, what was negative in this race? It was, I've had many jobs in my life. My track record sucks. You know what I'm saying? Back of the house kind of guy. And so that goes down. And then staying positive through all that. The way you got to do it is you got to just keep going, so I kept applying, and then finally had an interview where the guy liked me. We're able to talk about movies. He was a movie nerd, I was a movie nerd, and so I finally landed a job, and it's only minimum wage, but I'm so freaking excited, dude. Like, the excitement is equivalent to like if I got like $1 million. I don't know if it'd probably be the same. The butterflies in my stomach and the momentum. Because when I got it, it's like you're just like, a snowball when you put it down on a mountain and you roll it in the movies and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of like momentum right there. And you got to catch it, right? Everybody's, because you get on one mountain and then you got to climb down a mountain and find another one. So you got to catch the momentum, and it's pretty cool. I learned that from Donald Trump on a video, and it just stuck with me. It was like tattooed on me a little bit, or probably a lot. But it was cool, And so finally I landed a job. Freaking so excited, dude. Pumped up. Can't wait to work and train. And I'm going all in for this. I kind of looked at it. Remember I told you guys a philosophy where if you're struggling, you got to switch it up a little bit. You got to change your way, your mindset. So like if somebody does give you a chance, take the rope and just pull yourself to shore, because you're in a current. I was in a current, man. This guy threw me a branch and I was like, yes. And so I'm excited to grow and just hit the ground running kind of thing. And that was kind of cool, right? And it's also been kind of stressful because I figured out my universal gift. I'm a decoder naturally. And remember how I always told you the screen process, the soul, the spirit, the flesh? I'm finally in sync with those. They're like equivalency. They're just like bam, bam, bam. And so that's kind of been stressful because I've noticed throughout my past, when I start preaching the Bible, I can articulate the Bible very well and it's like the Lord blessed me with this gift, and now I can relate because I know how Hollywood and stuff works, right? So like all the gifts he gives to people, like your gift can excel in darkness and in light. He gave you a gift, and like he gave you a talent. And then at the end of everything, your last breath, and you meet God, right? He's gonna go over everything the talents he's given you, and then he's gonna judge you on what you did with those talents and what it caused, what your ripple effect on earth was. And so I'm learning that, and then because I always wondered Hollywood, and I had to jump in the dark to decode these movies because it's not really fun. I mean, it's kind of fun, but then it's kind of like so legitly real that it darkens you. The longer you're decoding and stuff, it darkens you, right? And then you'll show this dark side and stuff. It's just like Star Wars almost, where like you have Jedis on the dark side and Jedis on the light side, right? And the ones on the light side stay towards the light, but they probably know about the dark, but they've overcame it. They're like, I've been there and it's kind of dark over there. I'd rather kind of stay over here. And I was talking to God, Yahweh, about that today, venting to him as we were walking down the dirt road together. And he was shining over Dalton, which was cool. And so that was like a huge stressful thing over here because I started decoding movies very well, and then I'm going to test my decoding things in another nation. And then I transferred over to Russia. Man, I started decoding Russia, movies. And the same gift I have in the tongue and tribe of America is the same gift that works in the tribe of Russia. So like, I'm like, wow, but it's been a stressful roller coaster ride because just the revelation, like serious revelation has serious, what is it? Consequences, right? And consequences are heavy on your mind. It makes your life heavier. Solomon even said, the more wisdom you obtain, the more grief that will produce, because, you know, you put yourself in this standard where you're rising up on the world curriculum in a way that most people don't. And so when you do that, you see everything as it is, red pill, right? And then, but you realize most of the world is trapped in an illusion, smoke and mirrors. And then immediately you get this weight on you of like, how do I know all this stuff and I'm sharing it with all these people, but they want to remain sleeping and stuff. And then this guy did this. I don't really watch titles anymore of videos. You know, I'm retired from that. And this guy said, use your gift and receive the great harvest. And I asked God, like, what is my gift? You know, what's this guy talking about? Great harvest. And then I'm over here and he's shining above Dalton with the sun rays. You know, he's painting in the sky. There was a triangle with the sun on top of it, an arm holding the sun, you know, meaning in his hands, you know, and all of a sudden the Lord's like, this is your gift. This is the harvest. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, you know, pretty much saying, you keep watering down and listening to other people and you keep straying away from how I wired you. And I was like, oh, dang it, bummer, dude. And so I was like, okay. And that makes so much sense, because when I was watching titles, I'll be coming into my gift, which he made me how he did. He wired me, you know. And when I walk into that, a lot of people get frustrated. And then I'll start watching titles of videos and I'll start trying to change according to, you know, that's why this one lady said, yeah, some people, they be good leaders, but they're just too afraid of letting somebody down. She was totally aiming at me when she said that. And so like when the Lord talked to me today, which was hilarious because there was 2 white vans right here behind me, because my view of my house is this big old satellite tower, and the 2 white vans were doing some wiring stuff. And so I woke up, and you know me, bold Joe, I walk in between the middle of them and check it out. Curious George over here, George Clowney, and I wanted to see it. So I was like, all right, you know, so I walked by, and then I started going for a walk, and then I walked down this road that says South Pile number 6, and then it had a sign, and then above it said tickets, and I was like, whoa, you know. And because I just watched the movie Ultraviolet and decoded it, where V helps this boy named Six and she saves him and stuff, and you know, I was like, wow, you know, which is kind of crazy. And so then I'm walking, and all of a sudden I'm looking on the ground. I'm in the middle of nowhere by railroad tracks, and there are these 2 crossword scratchers. And I was like, and see, this connects with me. This is how I think. This is why it's stressful. I was in California driving with my kids, and I saw hourglass in the clouds, meaning time is short. And then if you look at Donald Trump Jr.'s son's media outlet, his emblem is an hourglass. And on movies like Godzilla, and I think all the Godzillas and other movies, the hourglass is the symbol and symbolism behind the scenes in this movie. And all it is 2 M's put together. If you put an M and a W and you put them together, it creates an hourglass, right? And you have the company like Waste Management, WM. You know, the W is green, the M is yellow, you know, and it's like a 2-sided corporation. One group is color-coded for a certain thing, one group's color-coded for a certain thing. And then you have movies about like when they start breaking you apart in society, you know, you have the blue, the yellow, the red, the orange, the red, and then the black. And so those are colors too. And so all this stuff, and then I pick up these scratchers and I start reading the words that were scratched on them. And the first word is hourglass. So I look at it, and the first word was hourglass. And obviously live to the world, you know, I know so, because you guys get your pump up on my live connection. I can post videos on YouTube, and you know, there's no views and everything on it, because, you know, it doesn't work like that. So that was an interesting walk, and I'm walking down the dirt road, and as I'm coming back home, one of these white vans, so it was a truck with a white van in the back of it, where they go in their little office, and then they're doing their wiring stuff in there. And he's driving off, and he looks like he saw a ghost. you know? He's like, and I'm over here skipping and laughing and dancing in joy. And it's because of the dream I had, you know? The dream of the 2 motorcycles. Well, I had a dream of Elon Musk holding me. No. My mom had me, and then my dad walked me up these stairs. And then Elon Musk was right there. And he was like holding me. And then Elon was telling my dad everything I was going to be when I grew up. And I was like, and I was watching in the third view, as you know, I was going, whoa, observing it all. And then so then after that, it went to a dirt road, and I was walking with Yahweh because he had a robe on. You can totally tell it was like Jesus Christ or something. And you know, and we're talking like as if he's like right here next to me, you know. And I was like, you know, my hands were moving like it does, and he was articulating. And then, you know, this van drives past us, and it was aggressive, and I was like, what the heck? And all of a sudden, they open the back and 2 motorcycles come out with bright LED lights, and they start driving up on me like they're gonna hit me and Yahweh. So I turn around like I need to fight for Yahweh or something. I'm like, what is this? And so I just super speed like Sonic the Hedgehog, whoom! And I grabbed these 2 motorcycles and lifted them up in the air, and just I hit them together, and they just shattered, right? But the Lord said, no, don't do that. Like I guess he didn't want me to do that. And so that's why this has all been a struggle, because, you know, we know the future. And I was talking to him about that. I was like, man, it's so hard because I'm struggling, you know, because you know, I'm smart enough now where I know how to change my own flat tire, and I know the future, and it's scary. It's like, I don't know how to handle this sometimes, because, you know, how do I be joyful when predestination and Calvinism and all this other stuff is pointing me, you know, I'm like, no matter how I feel, it seems like destiny is ahead of me still, and it's coming, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so I was finally real with him about this. And I've been talking in Russian, you know, with the Google app thing, hoping that Vladimir hears it. And I spoke to Kim Jong-un, you know. It's funny, the name is Kim Jong-un. You know, that's kind of weird. But I spoke out on that. And so it's been kind of a struggle moving here, right? The apartment complex, obviously. And then like now they have a window missing out of the door, you know. So when I walk in, there was a door with one window and a door with a window missing. That is a sign of, you know, we know what all that means, you know, you know, you got the 2 bears. And so that thing was coming from Los Angeles, or no, Las Vegas. I lived across the Ice House, apartment 303, 305, and there was this homeless guy who would go to this Ice House and he'd break out one of the windows. And, you know, I've seen it happen twice. And the second time he did it, it was totally theater act and role play. You know, it had to do with, I think, Rosa or something. But so that's going down too. And so it's hard because I've realized I'm the mystery man who can reveal riddles, right? And do you know how hard it is to come to terms with that, you know? And then now I'm understanding the 3 people in all these movies. And like now I'm asking myself, oh, well, you barely woke up. You're awake, you know, and it took 36 years for your breakout season. And I was like, the 3 probably went through similar lifestyles where they might have caught on faster, because I think I'm like the last one to graduate or something. You know, I think finally everyone's like, finally, dude, like, dang, it took you long enough. Everyone else has already graduated, went to Disneyland, and you still haven't even won the Super Bowl, went to Disneyland yet. And you're Tom Brady. I'm like, oh, khakis, you know? And so it's very mind-boggling. And so I was talking to the 3, and I'm like, oh yeah, I realized you guys figured it out too. And when you look at it, nobody talks like this because it was given to me. The 3 found out their destiny, and to be honest with you, theirs is a oh crap destiny. And so they're going through the same thing too. They're like, I want to change that ending, right? And then I go through the same thing too. How can I stop that and change it? And when you break it down like this, it's just very symbolic and predestination. And when you talk to God, he still gives you grace or whatnot, because he knows what you're going through. And so, I mean, come on, look, he's walking with me down a dirt road, and so showing me love. And so but I can't help but understand all this stuff. And my gift is growing. So now it's at a point where I'm decoding everything, and I'll be watching like the rock show, Blink-182, which is a 3-man band. And I'm like, all right, cool. Travis is with Courtney now. And, he doesn't want her talking to Kim. And I'm having visions of Kim, me and her kids rocking out in the back seat. I'm trying to make it stop, but they won't. And this video, they're going through, and then they pull out a television. And then Travis grabs the bat and he hits the television. Right? And this was a video done years ago when I was young and rocking out to them. Like I was their #1 fan, right? I was their only fan. And, but see, now I can decode all this like real time. And I'm just like, so now I have to learn how to decode and have fun and be normal at the same time. And it's been a mission, dude. It's been a huge mission, very difficult, but this is me using my gift. And this is where the great harvest is going to accurately come into God's kingdom. You're going to see a huge dividing line, because all the information is being filtered out, right? And if you hear this stuff, you're going to go through, it's called a decision-making process, where I don't know your measure of grace personally, God does, but you yourself, since you're listening, you start this eternal clock of time to make a choice kind of thing, right? And so the wheels start spinning. And whenever the information goes out worldwide and the Lord shows me the hourglass, because time is short, right? And he's like, you're going to give all these people a testimony that's going to turn on all their time clocks, because everything's going to be revealed. No more mystery. Revelation chapter 10. And so that's what's happening right now. And that's why I've been feeling a lot of pressure decoding movies, because obviously everyone's listening. And so it's a struggle, man. But I'm becoming more real with God. Like, hey, help me to the best of your ability to get through this, And then I was all happy today, and then I went in a gas station, and there was 3 Mexican dudes wearing these paint suits, and so I don't really, like, I know God's given me power. I know that I can use it for dark or light, and he's given me free will, so I don't really stress out as much as I used to. So I'm a little bit bolder, which is kind of frightening and fierce a little bit, because I don't really like the 3, to be honest with you, because I know they're what they want to do and what they're gonna do, and they know what I'm gonna do. So it's like a weird, battle kind of thing. And so when I see these people, now I'll kind of be bold. I'll use my gift and I'll go a little dark, and I'll be like, hey, uno, dos, tres. There's 3. And then all of a sudden the lady who's like checking us out at the store is like, can I take a break? That's my 9 o'clock break. And so it's all evolving so fast, right? And so the hourglass is activated. It's moving fast. And so these are things that are crazy, right? That you're going to stress out about, or I am eventually. So, so now I try my best to decode and live a normal life with the rest of the hourglass that's remaining, chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe 5, I don't know. And you're all here with me, from the cradle to the grave, right? And so it's not just a one-man show. Like, it's not going to stop with me. It's going to be revealed, right? Revelation. And so I want to encourage you all, sometimes when you're thinking you're just watching and there's no consequences, you might want to start shifting out of that mindset, right? You might want to start realizing that watching does have consequences, because once you know the truth, the red pill truth, and that's what I'm giving you red pill, Neo on the Matrix, and Morpheus, all the way down the rabbit hole kind of stuff, right? And you don't have to click on my page to listen to videos I upload for a reason. God specifically and strategically made it that way for a reason, right? And that's what's happening right now as we speak. So yeah, try to stay motivated with that going on. It's very difficult. It's a roller coaster ride. It's up, it's down, and everybody went through this. All the main players in the Bible, even apostles, true prophets, true preachers. If you're 100% authentic in both sides of the world, you might not struggle that much because the world accepts its own, and and you're outnumbered. But the devil, the beast, the 144,000 and 2 witnesses, they're going to be hated, right? They're all going to be hated. The main authentic ones are going to be hated by the world because they're the ones who are pulsating straight truth, you know. And it's such a hypocritical time too, because it's kind of funny. Our dollar bill says New World Order on it, right? So you have the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the top. But before that all activates, you're going to see a huge majority of the builders back out. And they're going to, I mean, they've been building up to this peak for generations. But then once the peak gets here, they all back out and they change their plans. They try to rewrite the books. The all-seeing eye, they turn on and they try to deceive. Like, you know, it says in the Bible, the devil, or whoever the main beast is, once he realizes he's been deceived by the whole world, you know, that's when I guess the SNAP happens, the snap or whatever. And because they try to rewrite everything, right? And once you connect the dots, they're already connected. You know, the puzzle's complete, right? So that's some stress that goes on, you know? Like, it's just a huge head game, man. And it's very intricate, this puzzle. But, you know, that's why I'm kind of look down at the builders, because I don't think the builders really want any true leader. Because when you look at history, Jesus came and the builders, the stone in which you builders rejected, right? They rejected Jesus, right? And then, so the true eye they want is the Lucifer eye. But then God gives them that what they want. And then they end up rejecting that too. See what I'm saying? They rejected Christ and they rejected Lucifer. They reject anybody who wants or who is destined for that. And so that's what's going on right now. And history repeats itself. And it's a trip, dude. And so, like, and I see all this. That's why I'm like, whoa, this is just weird. All this is going down. America, they want to hold on to the queen. You know, they had a chance they had a shot at a king that could have brought true masculinity back and stuff like this, but they denied it. They're all, I don't want it. I'd rather have Honeypot Avenue, right? And so they fought it and fought it and fought it and fought it. But it gets to a point where the management comes in because, well, America is trying to build with the queen, and then all of a sudden when her season's over and then the king steps up, they're like, So you got to think, the hourglass has already started. So the 10 kingdoms in the book of Revelation are already probably at their peak. BRICS nation, China. And so these people, they're hitting the ceiling and going, well, we did our job. We're where we're supposed to be. And they have the hourglass or the little thing looking at America. And what do they see over here? They see a group that doesn't want to get in line. And it's not that they see it. It's that the universal weight of God's word is taking effect. And so whenever you're pressing his word and his will, it's like you're holding hands, right? And then you get tighter and then tighter and then tighter. And then look, your hands start shaking. And then you can only hold that for so long before you gotta boom, let go. And then wham, bam, right? Because the pain, the frustration, it's tension. And you can't hold any longer and it releases. So I think that's what's going down with America, is they're trying so hard to rewrite history and be the leaders of the New World Order, which they're not. And the other 10 have already risen up and they're like ready to go. So then things have to be done. You know, if someone ends up being the vice that won't let go. And I think that's America holding on to the whole queen and king thing, right? They're out of balance. And I hope people wake up in America because of the episode that happened today, you know, with the whole finding the scratchers with the hourglass. I mean, dude, that's some revelation right there. And I'm a nerd, so I have to tell you what I know, and I'm commanded to do so, you know. So, and you all know, for your you know, all you women right now, a lot of you women are probably like showing some type of nonverbal communication because you know what I said is true, you know. And I'm not trying to beat you up about it. That's the thing. Like, you think I am, but I always speak to you women with grace most of the time. But then, like, you only remember the times when I'm snapping on you with facts. And that's not my fault, you know? And the proof is in the pudding, right? You know, so like a lot of your frustration comes from the fact that you're internalizing this and you know, dude, that totally makes sense, right? And so I want to encourage everybody to just keep going forward, dude. And because I'm going to keep revealing stuff, you know, because I can't not do it. You know, I have to. It's my gift. And this is, you know, I'm a walking, living, breathing testimony, right? That unfolds when I'm not even wanting it to unfold. You know, I can lay in that grass right there for 4 hours and something's going to unfold in my brain that you're going to see. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the man who got stuck with that. I didn't ask for it. It chose me, right? And so, and this is a hard message because a lot of you 33rd degree Masons out there are listening right now. All of you 32nd, 31st, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 21, 23, 22, 21, and 20. And then when it gets to the teens, it's like whatever. But 20 to 30, the top, all of you know exactly what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? And so, you know, after all these years, you know, you end up rejecting cornerstones, and it still shows 2,000 years later. You know what I'm saying? And so you see the universal code. I mean, look at the start of this video and look how it just elevated. See, so like, this is a gift God's given me, and I want to end it with this. If you're a blue pill person, my advice to you is don't fight against the red pill people who are bringing to revelation everything. My advice to you would be to try your best to just separate yourself from listening to the voice of the truth. Because if you don't, you're gonna suffer, man. I mean, blue pill, stay blue pill. Red pill, stay red. Right? Like the rabbit hole. And that's my advice to you, is to turn it off. And it might be like quitting a drug, but you might want to learn how to keep turning it off and just live your little life. Like, you know, because the hourglass is for everybody. It's not just for me. I mean, it's gonna pressurize the ones who are dealing with all this stuff more than the average person, but it's for everybody, right? And so that's my advice. And if you're a red pill person, email me, joshuaforjustice@yahoo.com. If you want to know some more information, decoding and stuff like that, hit me up. Or just enjoy the show. But talk to you later.